in the press box yesterday, a lot of the Aussie journalists were saying that Jermaine McGilvray and Alex Walmsley are on the radar of a lot of NRL clubs. Could you see those two guys doing well in the NRL?
Yeah, for sure. I think, you know, with the added coaching that they would receive out here, they would have to get used to the style of game that's been played in Australia. But looking at them, I think McGilvray would be outstanding, regardless of what club he plays for. He's a very strong runner and very capable. And I think Walmsley, he's a gangly sort of man, isn't he? I do believe that if he played here, they'd probably look to put a bit more weight on him, a bit more size. He's just so tall and everything, but probably not as thick in the body as say, one of your Burgess boys. But I think that's what they would do with him. But he has got an outstanding future. I was over in England in 2015, and I saw him play a few games for St Helens, and I thought, this kid's got some ability, and here he is now playing in the World Cup for England.
Only a few years ago, I think it's 6 years now, he was still playing amateur rugby for Dewsbury Celtic, and he had an unconventional route thanks to a guy called Paul Halloran, a really good friend of mine, who spotted him and got him up to Batley, and then from Batley he went to Saints. But there's always hope, isn't there, for players like Alex who may be in their early 20s, who might have missed out on a scholarship, on an academy, but yeah, they've got through, and there's always that hope.
Yeah, there is, and it's a great story. You know, I mean, there's going to be a lot of young guys looking at that situation and thinking, well, yeah, there's still hope for me. There's an opportunity, and I do think that's what's got to happen in the game. You know, we need these guys going out, these scouts, and looking at guys, and not just looking at kids at 14, 15, 16, because there are guys, and in particular front rowers, that generally don't develop till their mid-20s. So, you know, you see it happen a lot out here. There's guys that play in our under-20s competition, and they might last 1 or 2 years, and all of a sudden they're no longer playing under-20s because they say, oh, they haven't got the ability. But in another 4 years' time, they become giants, and they can learn their trade. And you talk to a lot of former front rowers, and they'll tell you 25, 26, even 27 years of age before they believed they knew their trade. And I think that's what we've got to look at, and we've got to make sure that we don't forget that in rugby league, because there's a lot of young guys that are missing out and having an opportunity to play at top level because of their age, and people to think, well, if they're not ready to play at this level at the age of 20, they're never going to be level, but never going to be ready. But, you know, as I said, you've got to look at the different positions. Some guys develop a lot later than others, and obviously with Walmsley that's what's happened, and now England have got the benefit of what I believe will be one of the great front rowers for their country.